Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because today I'm going to be doing an updated version of this video that I filmed in 2022, which is the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge. Basically, Gilmore Girls is one of my favorite shows. For years now, I have been trying to read through all of the books that Rory Gilmore is seen reading in Gilmore Girls because she is an avid reader, and she is also one of the reasons why I read so many of my favorite books, which Anna Karenina is actually one of them. I thought it would be fun now that 2 years have gone by to retake this quiz and to see how many more I read from last time. So I'm going to screen record my phone and take the quiz, and maybe you guys, I will link the quiz down below and you guys can take it with me if you'd like to. Okay, so here we have the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge, and it says, how many have you read? So I have read 1984. I'm just gonna read through the ones that I have read because there are 339 books on this list, and that's just going to be a lot of titles to read out, so I'm just going to read out the ones that I have read. Alice in Wonderland, Anna Karenina, Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl I have read. I tried reading As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner for a Rory Gilmore 24-hour readathon, and I started it and I really didn't love it. I have read Atonement. I have read The Awakening. See, that's a new one from last time. I hadn't read that one yet. I have read The Bell Jar. I have read Beloved. I did read Brave New World in high school, The Catcher in the Rye, Charlotte's Web, one of my favorites, A Christmas Carol, another favorite. Okay, next page. I haven't read The Comedy of Errors actually, but I have read some wonderful Shakespeare plays that I do think are on this list. Oh, The Count of Monte Cristo I have read, hadn't read that one last time, that's exciting. I have read Crime and Punishment. Such a great book. I have read The Crucible. I have read The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. David Copperfield. I didn't read Dead Souls. No, I haven't read Dead Souls yet. Why did I have to think about that? I have read Death of a Salesman, Don Quixote, one of my favorites, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Complete Tales of Edgar Allan Poe I'm going to count because I have read a lot of his works, but I don't believe I've read everything, but I'm going to still count it, just to be nice. I have read Eloise, oh, so good. Emma, one of my favorites, by Jane Austen. Ethan Frome, I have read. Okay, next page. I haven't read Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer, but I read Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, that's what it's called. I haven't read Ava Luna. I really want to read some Isabel Allende, but I don't know which one to start with. Do you have any recommendations? Let me know. Fahrenheit 451 I have read. I haven't read any of these. I'm going to be reading The Fellowship of the Ring this year, which is exciting. Haven't read Fiddler on the Roof. I have read The Five People You Meet in Heaven, which is one of my favorite books. I read it years ago and it is still one of my favorites. I love it so much. Flowers for Algernon I'm hoping to read soon, hopefully this year. Don't know exactly when. Frankenstein I have read. I've been meaning to read Franny and Zoe. This is slightly making me feel bad about myself. I remember feeling this way when I took it 2 years ago. Haven't read any of these. I have read Goldilocks and the Three Bears. That was one of my favorites when I was a kid. Mainly because I had really blonde hair. It got darker as I got older, but I always pretended I was Goldilocks, and I loved stuffed animal bears. I loved teddy bears. I had a whole collection of teddy bears, so it's one of my favorites. I haven't read Gone with the Wind yet. I really want to. Hoping to read East of Eden this year, but that's Grapes of Wrath. I have read The Great Gatsby, thankfully. I have read Great Expectations. I have read Hamlet, I have read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and I have read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Feeling better about myself now. Okay, on to page 4. I haven't read the first 4. I haven't read any of these. How the Grinch Stole Christmas I have read. Amazing. I have read Howl by Allen Ginsberg. I have read part of the Iliad, but I'm not going to count it because I haven't read the whole thing. I did read part of the Inferno recently and I really enjoyed it, but I'm not going to count it because I didn't read the whole thing. Jane Eyre I have read. It's the classic that got me into reading classics. Julius Caesar I have read. I'm also hoping to read The Kite Runner soon. I sadly haven't read that one yet. I'd also really like to read Lady Chatterley's Lover. There are so many books that I have on my shelves that I want to read that are on this list and I haven't read them yet. Unfortunately. Leaves of Grass I have read. I love Walt Whitman. my favorite poet. I have read Letters to a Young Poet, that's another favorite. Okay, on to page 5. Haven't read Little Dorrit. I have read The Little Match Girl and Little Women. Amazing. I have read Lord of the Flies, and I do want to read The Lottery, but I haven't yet. I have read Macbeth. I want to read Madame Bovary. I want to read The Master and Margarita. Oh my gosh, there are so many on this list that I want to read that I haven't. I have read Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. I have read The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I haven't read any of these, unfortunately. I have read A Movable Feast. I have read Mrs. Dalloway. 2 amazing books. Okay, on to page 6 now. I have read Night by Elie Wiesel. I have read Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I have read Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. I have read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I have read 100 Years of Solitude. I have read Othello. I have read The Outsiders. I want to read A Passage to India by E.M. Forster soon. I have read The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I have read The Picture of Dorian Gray. Oh my god. No. And I have read Pride and Prejudice. I haven't read these, although I love Pushkin. I'd love to read that biography about him. Rapunzel I have read. The Raven I have read. Rebecca, I love Rebecca. I have read Romeo and Juliet, and I have read A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. I have read A Room with a View. Haven't read any of these, unfortunately. I have read The Secret Life of Bees. I'm hopefully going to be in the middle of Sense and Sensibility when you guys see this video, but I can't count it right now. I love A Separate Peace. Oh, such a good book. I have read The Shadow of the Wind. I have read Slaughterhouse-Five, and I have read The Snows of Kilimanjaro by Ernest Hemingway. And then previous Kurt Vonnegut. I haven't read any of these, unfortunately. I have read Stuart Little, and I have read A Streetcar Named Desire. I have also read The Sun Also Rises. I haven't read Swan's Away yet, although I would love to. I have read Tender Is the Night. I have yet to read A Tale of Two Cities, but I desperately want to. I have read To Have and Have Not. I have seen The Time Traveler's Wife, but I haven't read the book. I have read and loved To Kill a Mockingbird. Tuesdays with Morrie. Oh, so good. Another Mitch album. I have read Uncle Tom's Cabin. Okay, on to page 9 now. Unfortunately, haven't read the first 4. I've been meaning to read Waiting for Godot. Have not yet, unfortunately. I have read War and Peace. A life-changing read. I have unfortunately not read these either. I have read Wuthering Heights. And I have read The Year of Magical Thinking. Okay, it got messed up, but I believe my score is 81 out of 339, and I am in the top 9%. I achieved all 5 stars, which is quite nice. I feel pretty bad about this. To be completely honest, don't feel the most well-read. So silly me forgot to see what my score was 2 years ago, so I have my video pulled up right here. So I'm just gonna watch the end and we can find out together. Read The Wizard of Oz. I actually haven't read, but I love the movie. Again, makes me look. Can we just talk about how much I hate watching my own videos? Especially if they're old. Oh my god. Anyway, we're just gonna go through this torture together for a little bit. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I have read one of my favorite classics ever. The Yearling I have not read. And My Year of Magical Thinking. What a way to end. I have read it. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, we are done. Let's show my results. 73 of 339. Okay, 73 of 339. Oh my gosh, and my score this time was 81. I'm quite proud of that, actually. That's really only 8 books, but you know, it's better than 7 or 6 or 5. So I'm going to be nice to myself and say that I'm proud of what I have achieved over the past 2 years. I really haven't been thinking about doing this challenge while I've been reading. It's just something that's sort of in the back of my mind of, oh, I know that this is on the Rory Gilmore reading list, so I think that it's fun to just check back in and see how many books you have read. Rory has read so many, not all of them I really am interested in reading, although there are quite a few, as you guys saw, that I would like to read, so we will check back in maybe in another 2 years. I think that that would be fun. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I would love to know how you scored if you took the test. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description box if you guys want to take the test yourself. So I hope this was entertaining and fun to see a little updated version of my reading compared to Rory's. And I hope that you enjoyed. So thank you so much for being here and being so kind and lovely. I will see you very soon in another video. And as always, happy reading.